Hello, class ninth. So, today is the second class of chapter 1. So, last time in chapter 1, we studied about matter, its type. Today, we will study something more. But before it, let's do a quick revision. So, last time we studied about matter. What is matter? Matter is anything which occupies space and has mass. Yes, matter is anything which occupies space and has mass. And what are the properties of matter? Means physical nature of matter. Properties of matter means physical nature of matter. Yes, matter is made up of particles. Point number one, matter is made up of particles. Yes. Point number two. Point number two is the particles of matter are very tiny. The particles of matter are very tiny. Point number three, the particles of matter have space between them. The particles of matter have space between them. Point number four, the particles of matter are continuously moving. The particles of matter are continuously moving. Point number five, the particles of matter attract each other. Yes, the particles of matter attract each other. So these are the properties of matter, and we know that on the basis of physical state, there are three type of matter: solid, liquid, gas. And on the basis of chemical composition, there are two type of matter: pure matter and impure, means mixture. Pure matter can be divided into two part. Element and compound. Mixture can be divided into two part: homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Yes. And we also studied about physical state, solid, liquid, gas. We also studied about solid, liquid, gas, that in solid particles are tightly pegged together, the gaps between the particles are tiny, and the rate of diffusion in solid is very low. What is diffusion? Yes, the intermixing of two matter automatically. And we studied about liquid, that liquid have no definite shape but have fixed volume, but in solid have definite shape and definite volume. In solid, definite shape and definite volume, and in liquid, definite shape but no fixed volume, no definite volume. And the space between the particles of liquid is intermediate. The force of attraction between the particles is also intermediate. The movement of particle is intermediate. Yes, the space between particle is intermediate. Force of attraction between the particles of liquid is intermediate, and the movement of particles of liquid is intermediate. Okay, they are less compressible. The rate of diffusion is more than solid. And we also studied about properties of gas. Yes, so what are the properties of gas? Property number one, gases have no definite shape, no fixed volume. Property number two, the space between the particles is maximum. Property number three, the force of attraction between the particle is minimum. Yes, because the particle of gas are very far away from each other, so the force of attraction between the particle is minimum. And the movement of particle is maximum. Yes, they move rapidly, more than solid and liquid. They are most compressible. Yes, you can easily compress, but you cannot compress solid. The rate of diffusion is more than solid in liquid. Yes, and the rate of diffusion is more than solid and liquid. So we studied all these topic. Now look the picture. Everybody look the picture. You can see the picture. Look and tell me what is the picture showing. What is the picture showing? Yes, this picture is showing change in state of matter. Yes, this picture is showing change in state of matter. As you can see, the first picture in a beaker, in a small beaker, ice. I see ice, and in second beaker is water, and in last beaker boiling water. It means ice is solid, water is liquid, and last picture is showing gas in the form of water is in the form of gas. So change in state of matter. Change in state of matter. Last time we studied about change in state of matter. Yes, did you remember? Do you remember change in state of matter? When we heat the ice, when ice is heated, when we heat the ice, when ice is heated, it change into water. When water is heated, it change into water vapor, means or steam. When steam is cooled, it again change into water. When water is cooled, it again changes into ice. So this is called change in state of matter. So in short, we can say change in state of matter occur when heat is given or cooled. Okay, when temperature, when you decrease the temperature or increase the temperature, in that condition, the state of matter can change. Means from solid to liquid, it can turn, it can go from liquid to gas, and again reversible. Okay, so we studied all these topic last time. Now let's begin the new topic. Okay kids, today's first topic is fusion. Fusion, fusion, or in simple word you can say melting. Yes, suppose I have ice and I heat it. When I will heat it, what will happen? Because we know that in solid the particles doesn't move, they just vibrate at the mean position. By their mean position they just vibrate. So when you will heat the solid, the particles will start vibrating, and with a great speed, and then if solid convert into liquid, then they will start moving freely. The particles will start moving freely if solid convert into liquid. So at last solid will melt into liquid at last, because of temperature. At a particular temperature solid will melt into liquid. This process of melting, this process of changing solid into liquid is known as fusion. Yes, so when a solid is heated, the particles begin to vibrate. Yes, when a solid is heated, the particles begin to vibrate with greater speed. Yes, and begin to move freely. Means they are solid is changing into liquid, solid is trying to change into liquid. Then at a particular temperature, if you give particular temperature, the solid melt and change into liquid. Yes, solid melt and change into liquid. Remember that different solid need different temperature, different solid need different amount of temperature. Okay, so then at a particular temperature the solid melt and change into liquid. The process of melting is also known as fusion, and the temperature at which solid melt is called its melting point. Yes, when solid change into liquid, when solid change into liquid by giving heat, because of temperature, or you can say because of temperature or by giving heat, then at a particular temperature, it will change, solid will change into liquid. Yes, this temperature is known as melting point. Means the temperature at which solid melt, is called its melting point. The temperature at which solid melt is called its melting point. And do you know the melting point of ice? What is the melting point of ice? The melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius. Yes, the melting point of ice is 0 degrees Celsius or 273 Kelvin. Yes, 273 Kelvin or 0 degree Celsius. Okay. Now next topic is latent heat of fusion. What is the meaning of latent heat of fusion? Hidden heat of melting. In simple word, hidden heat of melting. Yes. The amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram of solid. The amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram of solid into the liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point is called latent heat of fusion. It means you suppose you have 1 kilogram solid. You have 1 kilogram solid and you give heat. You give heat and this solid change into liquid. In that condition, the amount of heat you are giving, that amount of heat at atmospheric pressure, at given atmospheric pressure, in that condition, what is the condition of pressure in an environment? In that condition, the amount of heat which you are providing to 1 kilogram solid, that is known as latent heat of fusion, which is changing solid into liquid. This is also known as hidden heat of fusion. Now let's understand it, latent heat of fusion, by example. Okay, let's understand it because I want to clarify what is latent heat of fusion, because I don't want to make you confused. Okay, now let's move on the activity. Okay kids, so what you need to do, take ice in a container, and put a thermometer, inside it. Okay, then what will you do? Start hitting it. So we know that the temperature of ice is 0 degree Celsius. Yes, remember, the temperature of ice is 0 degree Celsius, or in other word I can say the melting point of ice is 0 degree Celsius. The melting point of ice is 0 degree Celsius. What is melting point? The temperature at which solid melt. The temperature at which solid convert into liquid is called melting point. So when will you put thermometer in ice cube? Thermometer will show you what is the temperature. It will show you 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, now heat it. Now heat the ice. You will see, you will observe after some time that ice is changing into liquid. Now note down the temperature. You will see that temperature is still 0 degrees Celsius. Now after few minutes, ice will completely change into water. Yes, ice will completely change into liquid form. Now again watch the temperature, again note down the temperature. You will see that the temperature is still 0 degrees Celsius. Yes, 0 degrees Celsius is equal to 273 Kelvin. Why is the temperature not changing? The temperature will not change until the solid change, until the complete, all the amount of solid, all the amount of ice change into liquid. Yes, till then temperature will not change. Till then temperature will remain on the 0 degrees Celsius. Why did it happen? The reason behind it is latent heat of fusion, means the hidden heat. Yes, because of hidden heat, the temperature is not changing, but solid is melting. At given atmospheric pressure. Solid is changing into liquid at given atmospheric pressure. So that hidden amount of heat energy is changing solid into liquid, but temperature is not changing. That heat is known as latent heat of fusion. Yes, So what is latent heat of fusion? The amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram of solid. The amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram of solid into liquid at given atmospheric pressure at melting point is called latent heat of fusion. So the amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram of solid into liquid at given atmospheric pressure is called latent heat of fusion. So I hope you understood why is the temperature not changing because of latent heat of fusion. Understood? Now let's move on the next point. Okay kids, now let's study the next topic, boiling. So what is boiling? Suppose I have water, I have liquid, I heat it. When I will heat, what will happen? Because we know that the particles of liquid, the gap between the particles of liquid is intermediate. The gap between the particles of liquid is intermediate. But when will you heat, it will change into gas. It means the particles will move faster. Yes. When you provide heat to liquid, the particles will move faster. It means it is changing into gas. Yes. This process of changing liquid into gas is called boiling. Yes. When you give a particular temperature, at particular temperature, boiling start. At particular temperature, boiling start. What is the particular temperature for water? Particular temperature for water is 100 degrees Celsius. Yes. Or you can say 373 Kelvin. Yes. So, when a liquid is heated, its particle begin to move. When a liquid is heated, its particle begin to move even faster. Then at a particular temperature, the liquid begins to boil. The liquid begins to boil and change into gas, change into vapor, change into water vapor. Okay. So this process is known as boiling. And that particular temperature at which boiling happen, that particular temperature is known as boiling point. So what is boiling point? The temperature at which liquid start boiling is called its boiling point. The temperature at which liquid start boiling is called its boiling point. And what is the boiling point of water? 100 degrees Celsius, or you can say 373 Kelvin. 100 degrees Celsius, or you can say 373 Kelvin. Okay, understood what is boiling? Now latent heat of vaporization. Last time we studied few seconds ago we studied about latent heat of fusion. Now we will study latent heat of vaporization. Tell me what is latent heat of fusion? Latent heat of fusion, the amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram of solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure is called latent heat of fusion. Now what is latent heat of vaporization? The amount of heat required to change 1 kilogram of liquid, the amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram of liquid into gas at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point is called the latent heat of vaporization. What is latent heat of vaporization? The amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram of liquid at its atmospheric pressure at its boiling point is called latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization, or in simple word I can say hidden heat of vaporization. Hidden heat of vaporization. What is latent heat of vaporization? Let's understand by an activity. Okay kids, now let's understand. Take some water in a container, and start boiling it, and put a thermometer in water. As you can see in the picture, hang it, you can hang it also. Put a thermometer. Now before boiling it, before giving heat, note down the temperature. You will see the temperature of water is 100 degrees Celsius. Yes. Now when you will give heat, slowly the particles of liquid will start moving faster, they will vibrate faster. So liquid will change into gas form. Yes, liquid will start changing into gas form. That time again note down the temperature. You will see the temperature in thermometer is still 100 degrees Celsius. Yes. When you will provide heat, then particles move faster. After some time, again note down the temperature. After some time, again note down the temperature. You will look that the temperature is still 100 degrees Celsius. How comes it possible? You are giving heat, you are increasing the temperature, then thermometer is still not showing the temperature more than 100 degrees Celsius. Why? There is a hidden heat. Behind it, there is hidden heat. Yes. The temperature of water will not change. The temperature of water will not change until the all water convert into gaseous form. Yes. Till then, water will still remain at the same temperature. Why did it happen? Because of hidden heat of vaporization. What is the name of that hidden heat of vaporization? Yes, latent heat of vaporization. Because of latent heat of vaporization, the temperature is not changing. Means latent heat of vaporization means you are giving a hidden amount of heat energy. That amount of hidden amount of heat energy is changing liquid into gas at given atmospheric pressure. That hidden amount of heat energy is changing liquid into gas at given atmospheric pressure without increasing the temperature. Without increasing the temperature. And that 100 degrees Celsius is boiling point of water, and that amount of heat energy is known as latent heat of vaporization. So what is latent heat of vaporization? The amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram of a liquid into gas. The amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram liquid into gas at given atmospheric pressure is called latent heat of vaporization. The amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram of liquid into gas at given atmospheric pressure is called latent heat of vaporization. I hope you understood. Okay. Now let's move on the next point. Okay kids, now we will study two more topic. First is effect of temperature on a state of matter. Second, we will study effect of pressure. So first we will see effect of temperature. What is the effect of temperature? When you increase the temperature, then what happens? And when you decrease the temperature, then what happens? So what is the effect of temperature on molecular motion? Or you can say what is the effect of temperature on particles of any object, any substance. So now suppose you have solid, you have ice. Suppose you have ice. Okay. Or you can take iron, you have iron. Okay. And we know that all the substance are made up of particles, all the substance. Yes. And particles are very small in size. Yes. You can see the particle of solid in yellow color on the screen. Can you see the particles of solid in yellow color? When you are not providing heat, means that the solid is cold. Right now suppose that ice is in always cold form. So the particles of solid are near to each other. The particles of our solid, or you can say the particles of ice, they are near to each other. Now when you will provide temperature, when you will heat, then ice will change into liquid. When ice will change into liquid, we know that particles will move away from each other, because the particles of solid are very near to each other. But when you provide heat, when you will increase the temperature, what will happen? The particles of solid will go away from each other. Yes, they will go away from each other. So it means we can conclude that because of heating, due to temperature, particles of solid start moving freely. They move away from each other. Okay. So when you will provide heat to ice, it will change into liquid. Now cool it down. Now decrease the temperature. If you decrease the temperature of liquid, because liquid, the particles of liquid are intermediate, the gap between the particles of liquid is intermediate. So if you cool it, then it will again come into the form of ice. Liquid will come into the form of ice, and their particles will again come near to each other. Okay. But if you provide more heat to liquid, then what will happen? Look the picture. I have shown the particles of liquid, molecules of liquid in green color. I have shown the particles of liquid in green color. So when you will provide more heat to liquid, it will change. Liquid will change into gas, and we know that in the form of gas, the particles are very far away from each other. They can move freely. So the particles of liquid, when you will provide more temperature, then they will go away from each other. So we can conclude that the particles of liquid, when provide heat, they start moving freely. Okay, I hope you understood. Now let's move on the next point. Okay kids, now we will study a new topic, that is sublimation. Yes. So what is sublimation? Suppose I have camphor, okay, and I start heating the camphor. A camphor is always in solid form. I have camphor and I start heating camphor. Then what will happen? Camphor will change into liquid? No, my friend. Camphor will never change into liquid. Camphor always change solid into direct gas form. Yes. So when any substance change into from solid to direct gas form without coming in liquid form, then this process is known as sublimation. This is called sublimation. So what is sublimation? The change of state directly from solid to gas. The change of state directly from solid to gas. The change of state directly from solid to gas, or from gas to solid. Changing of state solid to gas or a gas to solid to gas or gas to solid is called sublimation. Yes. Like ammonium chloride, camphor example, camphor, ammonium chloride, NH4Cl, ammonium chloride. If solid camphor or ammonium chloride is heated, if solid camphor or solid ammonium chloride is heated, it changes into vapor. If the vapors are cooled, it changes into solid again. Yes. If the solid camphor or solid ammonium chloride is heated, it changes into vapor. And if the vapor are cooled, it again changes into solid. Yes. Okay, let's take an example. Let's take an example. You can see on the screen. Okay. Take a china dish. Put some ammonium chloride in china dish. Yes. Take a china dish. Put some ammonium chloride in china dish. Now, take a funnel and invert on it. Yes, put it upside down on china dish and take a piece of cotton and block the opening of funnel. Take a piece of cotton and block the opening of funnel. Now start giving heat by a burner, with the help of burner. Burner will provide heat, means temperature is providing by burner. So what will you see? When you will heat ammonium chloride, you can see on the wall of funnel vapor. You will see vapor on the wall of funnel. Okay, but you have already put a cotton on the opening of funnel, so vapor will not go outside. Vapor will not go outside. Slowly you can see that ammonium chloride will disappear. Slowly you will see ammonium chloride will disappear, means solid has changed into completely gaseous form without coming into liquid. Now stop the burner, stop giving heat. After some time you will see on the wall of funnel, water vapor of ammonium chloride. It is again changing into solid form. Yes, when you will cool it down, means when you will not provide heat, then that ammonium chloride, you will see that again changing into solid form. Yes, means gas is again changing into solid form. This is called sublimation. So the change of state directly from solid to gas or gas to solid is called sublimation. Understood? Now let's move on the next point. So kids, it was the effect of temperature. Because of temperature, solid change into liquid, liquid change into gas, and gas again change into liquid, liquid change into solid. But during sublimation process, solid change into gas and gas change into solid. Okay, so it was the effect of temperature. Now let's see the effect of pressure. Yes, do you know we use LPG, CNG? What is LPG? Liquid petroleum gas or liquefied petroleum gas. CNG is compressed natural gas. LPG is used at home for cooking. CNG is used in vehicle. Do a work at home. Try to shake the cylinder of LPG. Try to shake the cylinder of LPG. You will feel that it is not gas. It is in liquid form. Yes, it is in liquid form. Yes. So it means gas. Can we change gas into liquid? Yes, it is possible. We can change gas into liquid form. How? By applying pressure. Yes. When a pressure is applied on gas, because we know that the particles of gas are far away from each other, but when you apply pressure, then the particles will come closer and gas will change into liquid form. Yes. When you apply particular pressure, then it happens. We use LPG. We feel LPG. We feel LPG in cylinder by applying pressure. So by applying pressure, LPG change into liquid. So we can liquefy gases. We can liquefy gases means we can change gas into liquid form by applying pressure and reducing temperature. Yes, by applying pressure and reducing temperature. When you reduce temperature and when you apply pressure, then it change into liquid form. Compressed solid carbon dioxide is called dry ice. Compressed solid carbon dioxide is called dry ice. If the pressure is reduced, it changes directly to gas without coming into liquid state. Compressed solid carbon dioxide is called dry ice. If the pressure is reduced, it changes directly to gas without coming into liquid state. So as I said that gas, we can change gas into liquid form, but dry ice, dry ice is the solid form of ice which is formed by using carbon dioxide. So the another name of dry ice is solid carbon dioxide. If you reduce the pressure of solid carbon dioxide, then it will change into gaseous form. Yes, if you reduce the pressure of solid ice, dry ice means solid carbon dioxide, then it will change into gaseous form without coming in liquid. So we can conclude that by applying pressure and reducing temperature, we can change the state of matter. By applying pressure, point number 1, by applying pressure, we can bring the particles of gas come closer, means we can change LPG and CNG into gaseous, into liquid form. And by reducing pressure, dry ice, which is also known as solid carbon dioxide, we can change it into direct gaseous form without bringing into liquid form. So it was the effect of pressure. Okay, now let's move on the next point. Okay kids, today's last topic is interconversion of state of matter. What is the meaning of interconversion of state of matter? The process of changing state of matter into one form to another form is known as interconversion of state of matter. So interconversion of state of matter means we can change solid into liquid, liquid into gas, and again gas into liquid and liquid into solid. Yes, it is possible that we can change solid into liquid, liquid into gas, and again gas into solid, and again say solid into gas, gas into liquid, liquid into solid. Yes, it is possible. Solid, we can change solid into liquid. How? How can you change? Suppose you have ice. Can you change ice into liquid? Yes, it is possible by giving heat. This process is known as fusion, or you can say melting. Yes. What is fusion? The process of changing solid into liquid is called fusion. The process of changing solid into liquid is called fusion. Can we again change liquid into solid? Yes. We can again change water into ice. This process is called solidification. The process of changing liquid into solid. The process of changing liquid into solid is called solidification. Now the question is, can we change liquid into gas and gas into liquid? Yes. We can easily change liquid into gas by providing heat. When you provide heat, liquid change into gas. This process is called vaporization, or you can say evaporation. So the process of changing liquid into gas, is called vaporization or evaporation. The process of changing liquid into gas is called vaporization or evaporation. Now the question is, can we change gas into liquid? Can we change gas into liquid form? Yes, we can easily change water vapor into water. Water vapor means gas, water means liquid. We can easily change gas into liquid by cooling down, by decreasing the temperature. This process is called condensation. So what is condensation? The process of changing gas into liquid is called condensation. The process of changing gas into liquid is called condensation. Now the question is, can we change gas into solid or solid into gas? Yes. This process is called sublimation. What is sublimation? The process of changing solid into gas without bringing into liquid, or the process of changing gas into solid. The process of changing solid into gas or gas into solid is called sublimation. It happens in dry ice, ammonium chloride. Yes, am I right? So we can change solid into liquid by fusion, and liquid into solid by solidification, gas into liquid by condensation, and liquid into gas by vaporization. gas into solid and solid into gas by sublimation. Please learn this diagram. It is very simple. You can easily understand. Now let's move on the last point. Okay kids, it's time to ask question from you. Question number 1, define sublimation. So what is sublimation? The process of changing solid into gas or gas into solid without coming into liquid form is called sublimation. It happens in dry ice. Dry ice is also known as solid carbon dioxide, and also in ammonium chloride means NH4Cl. Okay. Next question is, what is latent heat of fusion? Question number 2, what is latent heat of fusion? So the amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram of solid into liquid. The amount of heat energy required to change 1 kilogram solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure is called latent heat of fusion. Yes. If you change 1 kilogram solid into liquid at given atmospheric pressure, that amount of heat energy that is required to change 1 kilogram solid into liquid is called latent heat of fusion, or you can say hidden heat to change solid into liquid. What is fusion? Fusion means changing solid into liquid, melting. Fusion means melting. Okay. Question number 3, write the effect of pressure. What is the effect of pressure? So when pressure is applied on a gas, then the particles of gas come closer and change into liquid. So we can liquefy by applying pressure or reducing the temperature. Okay. Question number 4, define melting point and boiling point. What is melting point? The temperature at which solid start to melt. Yes, solid start changing into liquid form is called melting point. And what is the melting point of ice? The melting point of ice is 0 degree Celsius. Okay, means 273 Kelvin. What is boiling point? The temperature at which liquid start to boil, means the temperature at which liquid start to change into gaseous form is called boiling point. What is the boiling point of liquid? 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, but may be possible that somewhere you will find the boiling point written 99.98 degrees Celsius. Okay, so it is actually considered 100 degree, or in Kelvin 373 Kelvin. Okay, means just 800. Okay, understood? So today's lesson is finished. Now we will meet with new topic in next class. Till then, goodbye.